Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm Doreen Gagne with Century 21 Redwood Realty, and I am here today talking with Karina Thornton. She is CEO, head photographer, and home haven creator at Hounds and Hearth Photography, which is an amazing business. We'll talk about that. So, Karina, talk to us about what you do and how you got started.
Okay. Well, first, thank you for having me. This is this is very exciting, and I love talking about Hounds and Hearth because dogs,
Yeah, dogs, right?
It's dogs. How I got started. So I actually went to college for photography way back when. I won't. We won't talk about days or years or how long it's been. But for a long time, I didn't use it. And then in about 2007, I moved down here to Virginia. I brought my brand new cat with me. I had just adopted him. I started getting back into photography because I didn't really know any here. So it kind of gave me a little bit of an outlet. And I started by taking pictures of my poor cat. And it just kind of evolved from there. Then I work with some rescues, doing complimentary photography for them and fundraisers and things like that. And then I started taking on private clients and got some editorial and commercial work, and it just kind of snowballed. So I've been doing this for about 10 years now.
Oh, wow. And I know you do a beautiful job. We've worked together.
We did.
So talk a little, because I'm a dog lover too. So yeah. Talk to me about your mission. You have a very unique mission. You're not just a photographer. So talk about the whole scope of Hounds and Hearth and the concept.
The whole thing. So Hounds and Hearth basically creates hound-inspired havens for everyday warriors. And what that means is that, it can sometimes be very hard to strike a balance between all the things that we want to do and this huge life and impact that we want to have, and balancing that with, kind of keeping sane. It's a little bit crazy out there. Some of us, struggle with actual anxiety disorders. But even if you don't, who doesn't love to, come home and have this welcoming, warm, relaxing space? So I'm really big on having havens at home, and, dogs are a huge, huge part of that. And there's, lots of scientific reasons why dogs can help anxiety and can help people relax. How impactful having a dog around can be. So I kind of took that a step further and created this business that not only incorporates your dog, but we actually design your photo session around your home. The colors you love, the feeling that you love, the things that you love most about your dog is what we'll try to highlight in your photo session, so that it all comes together to kind of make this bigger picture.
So it invokes more emotion, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And then when, of course, you look back on those photos, I know you mentioned, all of us have had pets that are no longer with us, but you can maybe be back in that moment.
Mm-hmm. And kind of harness some of their magic, and always have that with you, because the unfortunate part is they're not with us very long, and that's it's one of the heartbreaking things that everyone will face as a pet owner, but this can certainly keep that connection going.
Mm-hmm. I see that. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. What's your biggest challenge working with pets? Do you have any funny particular stories or?
Oh gosh, I have tons. It's funny because most people are hesitant to do photo sessions with their dogs because the first thing they say is, oh my gosh, they're never going to stay still, and they're going to be crazy. And my response is, good, that's that's what they do, that's what we want to see, that's what they should be doing. It's very rare that I'll have a dog actually, try and sit and stay and pose them in a certain way. I want to capture them while they're being themselves, while they're natural. So for me, what would typically be seen as a challenge is actually the thing that I love. I do all the running around, I do all the chasing, all the crawling around, all of the getting dirty in the mud, just so that they can kind of do what they do. So I don't know. It's not a challenge for me to do that. I have been told that I have an extraordinary amount of patience when it comes to dogs. And that's absolutely true. My sessions can go for 2 hours, but it's, in those last 45 minutes where some of the magic really starts happening.
I can imagine you have some fun.
So fun.
And I imagine that that's really rewarding. I would imagine that people come back to you in all stages of pet ownership, having done these sessions, and they can be rewarding, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's odd because when you first meet a dog, it's a very strange situation for them. They're meeting me likely the first time. So, they're a little bit nervous. They don't really know what's going on, but at some point, everything just clicks. And when I make that connection with a dog, it's just, it's overwhelming. I mean, it just makes me, it gives me the warm fuzzies, when they finally, when they start to trust you, and when, they come up and they're giving you kisses, or, I'm getting down on the ground to, get a shot of them real low, and they just run over and start licking my face. So that just makes my day.
It sounds like that comes naturally to you, or do you have strategies to earn trust in a dog, or is it just intuitive?
It's a little bit of both. You have to. I've done reading and studying on the body language of dogs, and how to greet certain types of dogs. So there's definitely an educational aspect of it for sure. But I grew up with dogs my whole life, so a lot of it definitely comes naturally. And it's part of my, my questionnaire when I first start working with clients. Is there something specific I need to know about your dog? Are they okay with noise? Are they, I want to get reactions, but I don't want to frighten them. So is your dog fearful? Are they playful? Do they like strangers? Do they not like strangers? And then I definitely do, read the room, so to speak, when I actually meet them. So sometimes my instructions to the parents will change, during the course of the session, just based on, some of the reactions that I see coming from their dog.
Mm-hmm. And so typically, talk about what's a typical session. Is it at home generally, in your studio generally? Can you do both? And who's in the photos? Because that's interesting too.
Yeah, so I don't have a studio space. So twice a year I do borrow some studio space for fundraising sessions. But most of my sessions, they're outdoors. Lots of them are at Morven Park or client backyards or things like that. So they're outdoor, natural light, and in pretty environments. So typically, the sessions, really for the first 30 minutes, we kind of let the dog really run the show. They sniff around, get familiar with their environment if they're, not in their home or anything like that. And then I just kind of go with the flow. I follow the light, and I typically know the areas that I'm shooting, so I know what spots I would like to go to. And then I usually just, spend about an hour and a half, just just shooting and with generous amounts of playtime and treats and making silly noises and things like that. I do let people, hop in for a couple of shots, but I am primarily a dog photographer, and that is what my focus is on. Just, getting you that single piece of artwork that, you can always cherish of your animal.
Thanks. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, my son's dog, but we'll go back.
Oh yeah.
He passed, and
No.
I had that photo that you took of him, and we framed it, and it really
Oh.
you just captured his personality, and it was beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
Really, he cried, of course he was so touched. But and then last, I want to talk about some of the charity work. I know you give back a lot, so talk about some, because I know you do a lot of charity.
So what I have been focusing on over the last couple of years, about 3 years ago, we adopted a new kitten from the homeless animal rescue team, which is Heart. So for the last couple of years, I've been doing twice a year. That's when I do the studio sessions, because they're mini sessions. And I donate the session fees from those sessions to Heart. So I do that twice a year. I am always donating sessions for other, fundraising activities. So, other rescues have contacted me. City Dogs and Cats, I contribute to their annual auction. I'm like, some of the names are escaping me. So yeah.
About.
Lucky Dog, yeah.
Yeah, Lucky Dog, yes. So I know things are a little unique during this pandemic. Do you have any special offers, discounts, promotions, things going on right now that you want to talk about? And then
Yeah, absolutely. So because it's Hounds and Hearth, I have been able to focus a little bit more on the hearth and the home bit of the business. So if you go to my website, there are tons of free resources on there about dog-friendly design and things you can do to create your haven at home, including a free course where I that comes with a free Facebook group that I'm involved in, where I can help you kind of carve out a single space in your home, especially now that everybody's home all the time.
right.
It's really important that you have that physical and mental space for yourself. So yeah, I have been kind of focusing a little bit more on the hearth portion of Hounds and Hearth over the last couple of weeks. So
We've all been focusing on the hard portion of our lives. So
yes. I know. It's not easy. It's not easy.
We're all kind of looking around going, what can we do? So this is perfect.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff in there, activities that you can do with your dog, and maybe some small home projects that you can take on, and it can be as big or as small as you like, because I know a lot of, we're all under stress, whether it's manifesting outwardly or not. So our the way we're reacting to it and our different levels of productivity are definitely going to come into play. So you can make it as small or as large as you want, even if it's just, flipping through a couple of pages of your favorite magazine, just, after work or something like that. Or it could be, as big as you want. We do have that full course that you can either create, a small space, or you can make it a much grander project. You can do one room, one corner, you could do your whole house. So
I think I
make it
that's
easy.
very unique. Yeah, very unique. Especially again, being a pet owner, making sure that they have their space and that you can coexist in the space comfortably.
And that's going to be a big thing too, because a lot of a lot of our dogs, of course, are used to us going out to work and, you know, being alone for hours at a time. And now the houses have been full 24/7 for several weeks. So, you know, when life does get back to normal and when we start, you know, going out and going back to work and having our social lives off of, you know, Zoom, there are things that we're going to have to address regarding how our animals react to another shift in their reality.
Right.
You know, as far as separation anxieties and things like that. So,
Right.
yeah,
And
I'll be
being
talking with some professionals about, you know, the best way to kind of ease your dog back into life when life gets a little bit normal again.
right, when you're not home as much. Well,
Exactly.
yeah. And your website is houndsandhearth.com.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking through some of your resources last night. Yeah. So great
Yeah.
stuff. Great stuff. Thanks so much
Oh my
for
gosh,
taking
thank you.
time to join me. And we'll keep an eye on all the creative things that you have coming forward. And thanks so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I can't wait to see all of your other interviews as well. It's very
Okay,
exciting.
thanks, Karina.
My pleasure.
All right.
Bye, Doreen.
Bye-bye. All right, John.